And we're live. Welcome to this week's episode of Choosing Us.
Welcome.
We love you.
We do. We really do.
We're grateful for you. We're grateful to have the opportunity to record, to discuss, to talk, to have this open dialogue of communication between us and you.
Yes, we love all the dialogue from you guys. So continue sending us messages and letting us know what you think about specific episodes and what you want to hear. Tell us what you want to hear next. We would love to dive into more topics that you guys specifically want to hear about.
Some of these topics may take a little bit of time to curate and to bring people in that are more specialized in that topic of conversation than we are. We have some that are coming down the line with people to answer those requests. But it's pretty cool. Our network is fairly large and fairly diverse. And it is pretty wild to see when you really broaden out what you're trying to get, you can usually get it.
Yeah, and we haven't talked about it a ton, but we have had one spotlight episode come out already, and actually two at this point. 2 episodes have come out.
No, just one. We've recorded 2. We've only had one come out. We had Ben and Andrea come out. Now I'm all messed up. Pretty sure we had one.
Okay.
I don't even know. Whatever.
Anyways.
We record so many podcast episodes, it's wild.
We will be having guest spotlights the last Wednesday of every month. And I'm really, really excited about this. I'm excited to have more and more come out and to bring more and more couples on that have different backgrounds, who are more focused on different things than us, that have different opinions than us, because there are lots of different opinions, especially in relationships. And we want to share those with you. We don't know everything. We are sharing what we know. And then we are super excited to start having couples come on that can share their insight so that you get more from different perspectives. So the last Wednesday of every month, you're going to get a spotlight guest speaker. That's going to be really cool. It's going to be exciting to see who all we bring on.
I realized what she said. By the time of this releasing, we have 2. She was looking at me like I'm stupid.
I'm glad
It's usually the case. She's right, I'm wrong. She's smart, I'm dumb. She's pretty, I'm ugly. It's okay.
I'm like, he'll catch on. He'll get it.
Figured it out.
Good job.
I got it. Anyways, by way of topic for this conversation, it kind of was segued a little bit.
Yes.
From last week. And other things.
And other things.
What were you going to say?
I was going to talk about the reel.
Oh.
What were you going to talk about?
I was just saying last week's episode.
Yeah.
We talked about parenting. And so it segues a little bit into this one. But she can talk about the reel because I had no idea what it was. She had to show me the reel. And then I'm like, that's dumb.
It is dumb. There is an audio going around on Instagram right now. And one of my friends shared it with me. And I messaged her back, and she was mainly showing me like what the girl was doing in the video, not as much the audio that was with it. But the first thing I noticed was the audio. And I was like, I 100% disagree. And the audio was, well, a boy can do it, so why can't I? Or boys can do it, why can't I do it? Just comparing women to men, and that if a man can do something, then I can do it. And I'm sorry, I disagree. I am going to put my hand up and say the way this world is going, where women want to do everything men can do, I disagree. I have a very important role, and this is obviously my opinion and what I think, but I think women have a very strong, powerful role in this world, and so do men. Men, their role is different. and they have a strong, powerful role as well. And it's beautiful, and it is beautiful on both sides. And the fact that women are trying to do everything that men are doing, they are losing sight of all the incredible things that women can do. Why do we need to do what the men are doing? Yes, you can have a career. Yes, you can have women owned businesses. That's great. That's awesome. But why is it, oh, a man can do it, so I can do it? Why is there a comparison there? Why does it matter?
And the funny part about this reel is the female that is stating the audio, the video going along is she's just building cabinets, which I wouldn't say is masculine or feminine.
Yeah, she's doing at home improvements like building cabinets, using power tools.
And I'm not sure why there's an insinuation of presupposition that power tools are masculine. They're just a tool to get a job done.
Well, and your favorite color is also purple.
My favorite color is purple.
Does that make you feminine?
Bam. I have lots of purple things. Maybe. I don't know. I know. At the end of the day, a color is a color. A power tool is a power tool. Something to get a task done is a tool, not a trait per se. But men and women have very distinct roles within relationships. If you don't believe me, go watch a single father family, watch their kids over a period of time and see how they react and see how they behave, and then do the same thing with single mother families.
It's crazy the difference.
There's
Even if
a
you
large
do
difference.
everything right, if you are doing everything that you can to raise great kids, they will be different.
And we're not saying they're not going to be great. They're going to be great kids, but they will be lacking in specific traits. And we have friends that are father-only families, and we have friends that are mother-only families. And our kids, compared to theirs, there is distinct differences. And I'm reading this book. And most of the book I'm skimming through because I don't agree with a lot of it. But this portion is pretty wild to really think about. And they pointed out that many, many, many university research studies, Harvard, Stanford, all those schools, they studied children that lacked a father in the home. They just had a mother and paid attention to how these children behaved. And they documented that by and large, this is an average statement. This is an umbrella statement. So there are going to be caveats to this. There's going to be outliers, not bystanders, outliers. However, those kids lacked emotional, what am I trying to say? I lost the word. Resilience is stuck in my head. It's not resilience. Emotional control, basically. They lacked the ability to, emotional regulation. That is what the book used. They lacked emotional regulation. That by and large, the mother of the household teaches the kids emotions and that they're important and to utilize them. And then the father teaches how to regulate them. And that a lot of these children lacked emotional regulation when there was the lack of a father in the home due to whatever reason, whether it was a widowed mother, whether it was divorced mother, whether it be the father was just not present because he was working all the time or just not present. For whatever reason, the father's not in the home, the children lacked emotional regulation. And it's pretty interesting to see. And as I've pondered about that and seen different kids out in the world and paid attention, the emotional regulation on our kids comparative. And that's the only thing I'm capable of comparing is our kids to other kids. And kids that I see often, right? Not just kids that I've seen once. And there is a stark difference in the abilities, the roles, the traits of a father figure and a mother figure. And how interesting it is. And this idea that if a man can do it, why can't I? This is not talking about the ability to do something, to accomplish a task. The whole movie G.I. Jane was all about this and how women can perform in Navy SEALs too. But at the end of the day, it's not about performing a task per se. It's about installing traits and understanding that Men have specific roles, women have specific roles, and we are turning into a world with pacified men because this emphasis on women power, women's strength, women's rights, which are all great and wonderful. But what happens when you put too much weight on a balance to one side? It goes out of balance on the other side. So now we live in this world and we have women in our life that don't have spouses, don't have men, or single mothers. And they say, where are all the men at? Well, that's a good
So
question.
women, you've smothered them all and pushed them out of the way and said, we don't need you.
Said, well, if a man can do it, I can do it.
Yeah. We need strong men, and that does happen. That yes, women, it's great. The women empowerment, women supporting women, that's beautiful, but we need to also be supporting our men and encouraging our men to be strong, powerful men and let them provide and protect in whatever way that works for them. But we need to be supporting the men as well and encouraging the men. There has been so many male suicides.
Oh, yeah.
Father
It's like
suicides,
60% more likely to be male than female in suicides.
which
or
is
more.
so sad because there's so much emphasis on women health, and which is great. You're going to want it on both sides though. What about the men? Let's not forget about our men and support them how they need it, and asking them and encouraging them to be strong, to be powerful, to be good examples to the next generation, or else you're going to end up with a lot of pussified boys and men, which is really sad to see that coming about.
It is really sad. And yeah, I compare myself to dudes all the time, constantly. We've been to the water park, and I look around and I lean to Michaela and I said, are you noticing that there's only about 5 of us in this 500 people that could really defend their family, that have the strength and the ability and the fortitude and the endurance? If something happened, we're all safe, healthy, and happy. But if something happened and a zombie apocalypse started, it's not going to be hard to outrun the population.
Oh, yes.
We have such a weak society. And this is one of the reasons I started personal training years ago, and I stopped very promptly because all the people that I trained, they would say, oh, this hurts. I can't do that. That hurts. I'm tired. And I'm clearly looking at them saying, you can do more. I know you can. And my first question is that a pinching pain or is that a dull aching pain? What kind of pain are you in? Because we're kind of seeking pain. That's what we're going after. We want that dull, aching, burning pain. Now, sharp pain, different story. That's an injury. Aching, burning pain, we're tearing muscle fibers right now. That's what we're actually doing. So it's going to hurt. But we live in this world that is so weak and has a lack of resilience and a lack of fortitude because the emphasis is so much on being on your phone, so much in social media, so much in simple gratification and simple pleasures for the exchange of long-term gain. We live in a microwave society. People want their Hot Pockets now.
Gross.
Gross. I'm all about that cook. I'm all about that smoked life. There was an experiment a long time ago. And this experiment, it's a very, very famous one. They would bring kids into a room and they would put a marshmallow on the table. They said, if you can endure 2 minutes, or whatever the time frame was, I don't remember what it was. It was about 2 minutes. If you can endure 2 minutes and not eat that marshmallow, I will give you a second marshmallow. And if you can endure another 5 minutes, I'll give you 3 marshmallows. That's about where it stopped. Many, many kids grabbed the marshmallow immediately. They had lack of regulation, lack of control. But there was a handful of kids that said, I'll wait. And in fact, I'll wait as long as you'll let me wait to get as many marshmallows as I possibly can. That's me. I will very much so wait, and find out what the maximum threshold is, and then go to that point to get marshmallows. Well, they've tracked those kids. That was about 40 years ago. They've tracked all of those kids to date, and all the kids that waited, that had the patience, and that's really what they were testing is patience. Those kids, by and large, as adults now, are very successful. They're the successful ones. But the kids that took the marshmallow immediately, not so successful, by and large. But this comes down to different traits. That's really what we're kind of going after, and the importance of having specific traits, specific standards, and holding the line. In our family, our boys go to Michaela when they need comfort. They don't come to me. I try, especially when Michaela's not here. I try. It doesn't work. And if Michaela's not here, they come to me, but it's not their first choice. But when they lift something heavy or they do something that they feel requires strength or endurance or athleticism or whatever, a talent of sorts, and they want somebody to be proud of them, they come to me. They turn to me at that point.
And it's really cool to see that and to understand in our family the roles that we have created, and to see that instinctively these boys, when they are hurt and struggling and need that emotional support, they will run to me. They want mom. They want mom because I can hold them and let them process through these emotions and to feel it. And they know that I am a safe space for that. And then going to dad and the male role where they feel protected and strong and they want to do everything he does, and everything that he does is an example to them. And as hard and as frustrating as it is sometimes, they want to do everything that dad does. And I think it's really beautiful to watch that and to watch the example that he is setting for them as a man, and to be able to grow up with that. And I feel like, especially for single moms, a big thing that I would say is find strong men in your lives. It doesn't just have to be a partner, even though that's your first one that you'd want to find that in. But the friends that you have, the male friends, the family members, you want your kids to be around these men who are strong and provide and protect and can be an example to your boys of what a masculine, strong man should look like.
It's important to demonstrate these things, not just say them.
Well, because your kids are going to learn way more by your actions than your words.
One of the people that we look up to pretty greatly, he says frequently, the things we learn are caught, not taught. We strive greatly to teach our kids and let them catch what we're teaching, not just say it to them. And they pick up quickly at a very young age. We started disciplining our boys, day one. And I remember there was a time that my son was acting out. My oldest was acting out. I was changing his diaper. He didn't want his diaper changed. And he was acting out while I was trying to change his diaper. He was like 4 or 5 months old. And I told him, I disciplined him. And a friend was changing their child's diaper right next to me. They said, he doesn't understand. He's 4. Why are you trying to discipline him? Then all of a sudden she realized he whipped into shape. And he laid there and let me change his diaper while their child was lashing out still. And then in that very moment, they tried to take corrective action but there's never a corrective action ever taken to date. So there was no way of knowing how to respond. I've been, for the most part, the disciplinary in our family. Michaela has been an enforcer of those rules, but I've been, by and large, the disciplinary. I'm the one that telling them to go to bed. I'm the one telling them to go to their room. I'm the one, if they need a spanking, I'm going to give them a spanking. It's coming from me because I'm the enforcer and I'm the regulator of emotion, right? Whereas Michaela is the regulator of teaching emotion and how to utilize it properly, how to release it and not hold on to it, and how to let it flow. This whole idea of if men can do it, so can I. Yeah, you're right. By way of a trait, by way of taking action, doing something, of course, that is not gender specific. But there are key components in our creation that they're very specific. Women make humans. Men can't do that. I can't grow a human. I don't have that ability, nor will I ever have the ability. No matter how much surgery I have, it's not possible. With that comes specific powers and gifts. I just don't have it. And vice versa. Michaela grows humans. She does not have the ability not to when things work properly. And I have traits and gifts and powers that she doesn't have.
Yeah. It's definitely something that I think every relationship, what you need to do is sit down and figure out what those roles look like and talk about it. Talk about what you want to teach your kids, what example you want to set for your kids, how you want your kids to grow up, because they're going to learn from the actions that you are taking, from the habits that you have created. They're going to watch that and they are going to end up doing that in their lives. And understanding the roles that a mom and a dad has in the family, and that it's okay that you each have your specific roles and that they're different. And that's what's beautiful about it, is that your kids are going to go to mom for specific things and your kids are going to go to dad for specific things. And they each play a specific, beautiful role in a kid's life and how they grow up.
We'll end on that note. We're grateful for you. I want you to have this conversation in your relationship. Have your spouse listen to this episode. Create these boundaries, these rules, these regulations, these standards, and have intention about who does what in the household. Having a defining line really helps your children to have direction. It really guides them and sets them on a proper path. And how important that is. Leave us reviews. Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Google, wherever. You can find me on the socials, Mr. Brad Draper.
And Draper Choosing Us.
Until next week, like this thing, subscribe to it, download it for future listenings. We love you guys. Bye.